Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is responding to leaked documents that suggest the platform took little action to address its role in spreading misinformation. The now redacted copies of these papers have been shared with journalists around the world by a congressional source. CBS News' Lori Siegel has the latest.
Tonight, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is addressing the firestorm around his company.
What we are seeing is a coordinated effort to selectively use leaked documents to paint a false picture of our company.
That response came after leaked internal studies found Facebook posts incited violence, while the platform enabled human trafficking and struggled to police hate speech. The same message Facebook whistleblower Frances Haugen had for lawmakers in the UK today.
So we are literally subsidizing hate on these platforms.
Former executive Brian Bolin left Facebook last year after more than a decade.
I'm concerned that Facebook causes divisions in a lot of areas, political being one of them, and a powerful one that we feel viscerally, but also in race and ethnicity, religion.
The documents also reveal how Facebook rolled back safety measures after the 2020 election, allowing misinformation to spread ahead of January 6th. An internal analysis stating our enforcement was piecemeal.
Those types of safety things are not the top priority. The top priority is growth.
A claim Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg has denied, writing, "This idea that we prioritize profit over safety and well-being, that's just not true." But Bolin says Zuckerberg has too much power.
I think if he stepped down as CEO and somebody with a focus on shepherding this amazing thing that's been built and keeping people safe, you'd see changes.
For now, the change, a rebranding campaign that Zuckerberg is expected to announce on Thursday. Lori Siegel, CBS News, New York.
For more on this, I want to bring in CBS News technology and politics reporter Musaddiq Bidar. Hi there, Musaddiq. So I know that you are part of the team at CBS News that has been poring over these documents. Walk us through the history of Facebook's algorithms. How long has the platform been using this process to power news feeds?
Yeah, Elaine, Facebook has been using algorithms for a number of years. If you recall, it was in 2007 when they introduced the like button, and then fast forward another decade to 2017 when they introduced reactions. Those are the little buttons at the bottom where you can react with a heart or a sad face or an angry face. And all these components power the algorithm and the recommendation system. But the biggest policy change took place in 2018 when Facebook decided to focus on what it calls meaningful social interactions, or MSI. They decided to do this because Facebook was noticing that users were spending a lot of time on the platform, but they weren't engaging. They were passively swiping through content, and Facebook wanted them to engage. They wanted the users to comment and like and share posts. And so Facebook's argument was that this would bring families and friends closer. But what's happening is that anytime users interact with a piece of content on the platform, the technology tracks that data and then turns around and serves them more of the same. And researchers are finding out that the interactions are not taking place with family and friends. It's happening with misinformation and divisive and hateful content.
So how exactly does the algorithm work, Moose? What metrics does it take into account?
There are a lot of metrics that go into it. Facebook says they're constantly changing and based on user feedback. The documents we reviewed focus on a few specific things: the like button, comments, reactions, your interactions with groups and pages. So when this first started in 2018, the documents that we reviewed showed that the like button was awarded 1 point, for example. So if you commented on a post, it was worth more than it was if you liked it. And similarly, if you RSVP to an event that a group was hosting, that elevated that group. If you commented on a post that a page had put on your newsfeed, it awarded it points. It worked in this ranking system. What Facebook called significant comments, comments that had videos, photos, or links, elevated that piece of content higher on the newsfeed. What was happening was the researchers found that the content that was getting the most engagement tended to be stuff that had misinformation, lies, and divisive content, because users, for example, you see something on there that you think is outrageous and you might comment on it, but the algorithm is going to interpret that as you having a meaningful social interaction. It can't decipher whether your comment is negative or not. And same thing, if you react to it with an angry face, the algorithm is going to think that that is a meaningful reaction, but to you, that's not content that you want to see.
Yeah, it's so interesting because it's not the content itself. It's not the sort of the actual substance of the content. It's the quantity. It sounds as though, Musaddiq, that really is a factor here in this algorithm. So these internal Facebook documents suggest the platform was aware of its role in spreading misinformation. How did this information first come to light?
There are a lot of research projects that went into this. When Facebook switched to meaningful social interactions in 2018, its team of data scientists began poring over all this information that they were getting to see how it's impacting users. And it really centers on 3 research studies Facebook conducted in 2019. They created test users that researchers ran and interacted and engaged only with the content that Facebook's algorithms showed the user. So there was a test user in India, which is Facebook's biggest market, over 340 million daily active users. And the researchers saw that within days, this test user was getting misinformation, lies, hateful comment. By week 2, the test user was seeing dead people on its account related to skirmishes that India and Pakistan had. The test users in the US were really interesting. Both were female, middle-aged women who were from North Carolina. And within days, the conservative account, one was a conservative mom and another was a liberal mom. The conservative mom was being pushed towards QAnon conspiracy theories, while the liberal mom was getting fed anti-Trump content that included fake images and altered quotes. So this is when folks talk about Facebook's algorithms dividing people, this is what they're talking about, is that the conservatives are getting fed the conspiracy theories that deal with QAnon, and the liberals are getting anti-Trump content, and nobody is engaging with their family and friends as much as Facebook thinks that they're going to.
Right, because we keep talking in this country about this deepening divide that we have been seeing, and now with people getting their information from sources that are questionable, but relying on that, and sometimes that alone, this misinformation really seems to be amplified, and it's really fascinating to hear about literally the formula. I mean, that's what this algorithm basically is, the formula by which that took place. All right, I'm afraid we're out of time. Musaddiq Bidar, really good to have you on. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Elaine.